Hey, what's up, Broken Family? Guess who's back? Well, I've been gone for almost a year, and figured it was time to get back. It's not like I've been sitting around not doing anything, but uh, had issues with the car, so guess I can go over that a little bit before we break into this new video, and let you know what's been happening with me. Stay tuned. And while I got you here, hit that like and subscribe button. I need more subscribers. Come on, y'all, come in, join me. So, in the last video I put out, I believe I had the transmission in the car. I had the car running. Nexus system was working good. I had got my startup tune from Wedge, and we were about ready to start doing some data logging. Well, the issue was transmission that I got from uh, Brickyard Motorsports out in beautiful old Brookline, Indiana. Well, that transmission was bad. Got the transmission in, it drove, it would go through most of the gears if you weren't really giving it any power. But as soon as you tried to give it any beans in third gear, it would just absolutely let go. So, me being me, I said, you know what, maybe it's a solenoid. I'll buy a solenoid kit and just replace all the solenoids inside the mechatronics system, and that'll probably fix the problem. So the deal with the 8 HP seems like 70 and up is you can't really find replacement parts. You can find refurbished solenoids and stuff, but brand new ones cost an arm and a leg, and like pretty much any type of rebuild kit is difficult to find and usually not here in America. So I bought a refurbished kit, I believe off of eBay, and took out the Mechatronic sleeves and decided to replace all the solenoids. And by the time I did all of that, got everything back together and ready to go back in the transmission, I just had a sneaking feeling, I know my luck, and I said I didn't want to do all of that work, put all the transmission back together and everything, fill it back up with fluid, and then find out that that wasn't the problem. Plus, I think I saw like a YouTube video of a guy that rebuilds Z8 transmissions, and it was a seal that was deep inside the transmission that was causing the same type of issue that I had. And I was like, I don't want to chance it doing all of this work, putting everything back together, and still ending up right back where I started at. So I went ahead and bit the bullet on that. By the time I got all done with that, the transmission was outside of the warranty, so I had to pretty much bite the bullet on that one. And I went ahead and bought a new transmission, but this time I got it off of eBay and had a 90-day warranty. It had already been tested. It was pretty good and everything else. So that brings us to here. I got the transmission in. Transmission seems to be working fine now. Got everything sorted with McCann TCU. The engine's still running fine. Working with Wedge now to get the first revision in. But the thing with that is he keeps bothering me about getting a Motive Flex Fuel upgrade that runs through CAN. So I went ahead and ordered that. So that's going to go in here pretty soon, I guess, just to make things go smoother. And so hopefully the next video will be me doing the revisions that when I get my actual tune for the car, so I can get off of the startup tune for Wedge. So right now this video here is going to be me putting in bucket seat, just going over the DIY on that. Not real difficult. The only thing most people will probably run into is the coding issue of airbags and whatnot from the seats once you unplug everything, since the seats are analog and you don't have a bunch of electrical outputs. And I think that's about it. So let's crack into this video, and hopefully you guys will stay tuned and you'll see more videos from me more often. First day the track opens, I believe, is April 8th, which is next week. Not going to that because I know everybody in the city is going to be at the track, and you'll probably get out there and maybe get one run. So I believe the next one is on the 22nd, and I'm gonna shoot for that one. Try and get some times down the track, and let you guys know where I'm at if I succeeded. Still shooting for a 10-second. Want to get as close to nines as possible. I don't think I'll be running nines because I'm pretty sure something like that you probably want to be more in the close to 800 horsepower range, and I'm pretty sure I'm probably capped around 6 something. So stay tuned, hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment. All right, in this video, we'll be installing a bucket seat. As you can see, I got one from Corbeau. The issue I was having and why I felt like I needed a bucket seat is, as you know, our cars come with leather seats, and with my suspension dialed in with good tires, if you're taking a corner, specifically a left-hander, at a high rate of speed, the car's going to hook, but you're not, and you'll find yourself halfway over to the passenger seat. So I wanted to eliminate that for safety and give me more stability and ability to drive. You can build the car up, but hell, the most important part is you. And if you can't properly steer the car, you're going to run into problems. So, as you can see, I got a fixed back seat. I kind of wanted a reclining seat, but you know, this came in front of me. It was a good deal, so I went ahead and picked it up. There are several other brands you can go with: Brid, Sparco, Recaro, things like that. The main thing you really want to do is get something that is not cheap, because this is, if you get in an accident and you buy a cheap seat, it can literally kill you. Like, the seat will fold and you will die. So on the first level, you just want something that's not a cheap piece of shit. Next level up will be something FIA certified, which I don't think this is, but Corbeau still makes quality seats, and this has a steel structure, so I'm pretty confident it's not going to go anywhere if I get into an accident. If you're into racing, say specifically autocross, they're probably going to have an inspection, and they're going to want your seat to have a FIA approval so that it can be safe on the track. Now, after that, as far as safety, you probably want to get harnesses. Harnesses work best on the track, not so much on the street, because when you're on the track, you're not really touching your radio or messing with your air con. But if you're on the streets, you know, you're usually fiddling with those things and doing everything. And if you're completely strapped down safely like you're supposed to be, you can't really do that. So for right now, I'm going to stick with the stock seat belts, and I'll show you how to rearrange those so that it'll work with these seats. And also, if you do get race harnesses, you want to make sure you're putting them in there properly with a harness bar behind the seat and not trying to bolt them to the floor, or you could end up doing what's called submarining and pretty much ruining your spine, collapsing your spine. All right, so let's get into what you need. Obviously, the first thing you need is a seat. You know, just figure out first what type of seat you want, either something reclining or a fixed back seat. And then you also have to take into account how wide you are. So if you got fat ass, you're going to want to get a model that's a little bit extra wider. This is about a medium size. I think it goes up to about a 38 with waist. I believe they have something to go up to like 48, but you really got to take that into consideration. After that, depending on what model of seat you get, brand, the mounting points that goes into the car can be different. For a lot of seats, they have side mountings that bolt on both sides and allow you to adjust how high you might want the seat depending on how tall you are. Kind of the downside of the Corbeau seats is you don't really have that option. You pretty much have to buy specific brackets for your car, and then a slider that sits on top of that bracket. So you really don't have the option of changing how high you are in the car. So, you know, take that also into consideration when you're buying to see how tall you are and how wide you are. One other thing that I decided to pick up was a seatbelt extension. I haven't put this in the car yet, but from what I'm seeing, how the seatbelt sits on the inside. You might want to buy seatbelt extensions so that you could loop it through here and still be able to plug your seatbelt in properly. So that's about everything I'm going to go over as far as what you need. I guess the last thing you would need is the ability to tune out any fault codes that might come up from unplugging your OEM seats from the car. So you probably want to look into get something like Pro Tunes along that line so that you can get in and get into the chassis and code out those alerts that might pop up. So let's get cracking on this. All right, so first thing you want to do is get your seat out, and you have 4 bolts holding it in place here. To get them out, you have to get a, what is this, a T50. Get that down in there. Make sure you hang on to these because you're going to need them. You put the seat back in. Slide the seat forward, and then you want to get the 4 in the back. Come on, do. Bitty, 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 do, do. All right. And you got one back here. All right, so once you get the bolts out, next thing you want to worry about are the connectors that are up under the seat. But before you start messing with those, you want to unplug your battery. So just go to the trunk, take off the negative cable, and then you can start on that. All right, once you get your battery unplugged, you want to lean the seat back, and you'll have a series of plugs right here that you need to get undone. Just take it, push it on one side, it should come loose there. It'll slide off this catch here. Take this, pull that up, and that all should come loose. All right, once you get that loose, pull the chair out, and this bad boy is heavy. I believe this weighs about 50 pounds. So when you're putting in a race seat, you're also getting some weight savings. As I was saying, for the weight difference, this is the OEM seat on here. As you can see, propping it up a little bit, but it's a little over 50-ish pounds. Pull that off. Put the new seat on there. As you can see, it's a little bit, about what? Oh, almost 20 something pounds. 18 looks like. These scales aren't precise, but as you can see, it's less than half the weight that you're putting in there. All right, once you got the seat out, you have to take the seat buckle off, and takes the same T50. And this will go back into that plug over there. As you can see, it has an igniter on there. In the event of an accident, I believe this goes off, which tightens up the belt so that you don't go flying out of the car. So pull that off there, and this will go onto the new seat bracket. I'll show you that here in a minute. All right, to get the rest of the seat belt out, you have a gray clip inside of here. And there are 2 points that are holding it in. One here, and then there's one on the top side. You have to stick 2 clips in, 2 pick tools in there, unclip it, and then you'll be able to pull it out. You probably have to cut here so that you can get it the rest of the way out. Got zip ties in there holding it, so get you something to cut the zip ties off, and you'll need to get all of this off of here so that you can pull that out. Come on, buddy. Oh, man. Make sure you don't cut the wire. Just snip. And all of that should come out like that. And that'll have to be bolted back on the side of the bracket, and I'll show you here in a second. All right, once you get that buckle off, you got the bolt that came out on your bracket. You have this on the side. These are side specific, so make sure when you're ordering one that you're getting it specifically for the driver's side, and then they have a separate one for the passenger side, and this bracket will be on the opposite. So you want to come in here, screw that back in, make sure it's lined up. Make sure that's on there nice and tight. Might not even be a bad idea to use some blue Loctite. You don't want to use red, but you know, just some vibration safety. Make sure that's in there nice and tight. And when we get ready to put this back in, the wire will loop back around and plug back into that yellow plug so that your seatbelt still functions properly. All right, after you get done then, your seat should come with 4 bolts for you to bolt the bracket down. So as you can see, you got 4 bolt holes here. On the slider, you'll see holes. You want to line those up. I believe there's a straight hole and then there's a slotted hole, and it probably depends on how close you want the seat to the steering wheel, depending on how long your arms or legs are. So I'm gonna try it first with the straight hole here in the back, and then use the slotted hole up front and see how that works out. I'm pretty sure I'm not that tall. I'm only 5'11", and my arms are, you know, not that long, so I probably shouldn't need a whole lot of space. Again, if you want a little bit of extra safety, you can break out your blue Loctite. So as you can see, I put the ones on top in first, and then for the slider, just push that down, and you can move it up and down so that you can line up the holes down here. As you can see, the holes at the bottom are slotted, so you have a little bit of play room in there, but should just be able to push your slider down, pull the bracket up, and then it should lock in place like that. You can put your bolts here and on the bottom. I will tell you, once you get those top ones in, make sure you leave them a little bit loose so that you can still have a little bit of room to move this around so that you can get the bottom ones in place. And then once you get the bottom ones in, then you can torque them down a little bit. I don't know if there's a torque spec. I didn't see any, so I would just go with a TAF spec, tight as fuck. Before you put the seat back in, this is a perfect time to vacuum out and make sure it's nice and clean. Don't put your seat back in grody. After you vacuumed out the car, now it's time to set the seat in there. And don't forget to replug the plug for the belt. Let me see if I can get the camera up here so that you can see it. All right, before you bolt the seat back in, it's probably a good time to get your wire back into the clip here. So if you look on here, there's an L-shaped plug here. So take it, and you can see the plug off of the belt, L-shaped also. So just plug that in there. See if I can do it with one hand. Ooh. Come here. So it should look something like that. Just plug it in there like that. Hopefully that'll stay in place, and that'll ensure that your seatbelt still functions properly. And the next step is to line up feet with your hose and then bolt it down. So let me see if I can get that in there. All right, the last part is the seatbelt. What you want to do is there's a plastic covering over it here. Just pop that out. Take the same Torx bit, screw that out, lift up on the bar here a little bit, slide the seatbelt out from under it, run it through the seat loop over here, and then run it back and put it back up under the bar. Screw it back down and torque it back in place. All right, and then put your cover back on, and you're ready to go. As you see, I got the seatbelt extender in there. I'll try and put the part number and where I got it from so you guys can pick that up. All right, so the last thing you need to do is code out your airbags. I already went through this once. Apparently, I wasn't recording when I did it, so pretty much show you what I did. Open up your Pro Tools, connect. I scroll down, go to airbag and coding, edit coding. Don't need to do that. Go to standard. You want to scroll down. Don't mess with airbag 1. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that's your airbag behind your steering wheel. You don't want to mess with that. Let's scroll down to left side airbag, disable that. And then I believe the left headrest, once you hit the disable on the left side airbag, I think that automatically disabled that. But after you go through and disable that, I believe that was the only thing I needed to disable. I believe that some of the stuff, like when you disable those two things, they kind of automatically do it. But that's basically the two things that I turned off, and then I turned off the seatbelt warning also. And then you hit finalize, and that'll go through. And then once you do that, cycle the car on and off. And then if you've done it right, you shouldn't have any warning lights about your airbags or anything on the dash. So I hope that helps for you guys when you get ready to put seats in your car, whatever, whatnot. I guess the final test is to see if I got enough headroom for my helmet. All right, last test. Let's break the helmet out. Get it. All right. Say I got enough room. Head's not hitting the top. Oh, I think we're all good. So in closing, as you can see, I only got just the driver's seat. I will get a passenger seat, but it's going to be reclining. And the way that Corbin does it, the passenger seats come in pairs. I'm getting a Corbin A4, and they only come in pairs. So if you want a single seat, you have to call them, and it takes them months to get just a single seat to send to you. So hopefully by June or whatever, they'll send that to me, and I'll be able to put it on the passenger side, and that should drop a little bit more weight. Like I said, track's coming up. I'll probably be going to the track on the 22nd of April. So I'm definitely going to get video of that. I have to finish doing the revisions on the engine to send the wedge. So when I get the flex fuel analyzer, I'm going to throw that on the car, get the data log, get the first revision. I'm going to try and get most of that on film and make a new video for you guys so I can stay back constant. And hopefully I'll get POV driving around videos, definitely get some races in. So hate to say it again, but like button, subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, leave a comment, um, you know, stay with me. I guess the last words I'll leave y'all with is be safe out here. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a hot and crazy summer this year. So, keep your head on a swivel. Love y'all. Be safe.